I got a new sketchbook, well, sketchbooks. Now it's time for me to figure out how to break into this brand new sketchbooks. I felt like I should share with you the process. So, how I break into a sketchbook and overcome my sketchbook anxiety. Hey everyone, I hope you all are having a very good, relaxing month. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I truly believe that sketchbooks are really useful tool for an artist, but starting a new sketchbook can be hard. Perfectionism really creeps in sometimes and it gets really difficult when it does. I feel some of us suffers a little bit more than the others. So in this video, I will share few different ways you can easily start working on a brand new sketchbook. Both of these sketchbooks, I'm going to be using them for different purposes. This one for more project based work and this one for practice with ink. So really ask yourself, what are you going to use in the sketchbook? So is it going to be a more refined, more finished drawing sketchbook or paper, or is it going to be more practice sketchbook? First I will show you this one, so how I am breaking into this sketchbook, and then later I will be sharing with you about this one, so how I am breaking it into this sketchbook. Two simple ways to break into a brand new sketchbook is to add stickers or jumping to a middle page. So I have seen my students and artists, they put a lot of stickers and kind of decorate their way into the sketchbook. And also some of them, they leave the first page and jump to this page and start working on that. And if you had some sort of experience decorating your way into the sketchbook or jumping really worked for you, you can really do that. But what I do is try and test my way into the sketchbook. Try all the potential supplies that I will be using in that sketchbook to test the paper as well as kind of breaking into the sketchbook at the same time. Speaking of supplies, I quickly want to mention here that there are some supplies that I got today and I've been collecting them since my birthday, which was like a month ago. 3 months ago, I would have just ripped the plastic off and start working on them instantly. But I have been patiently waiting for them to arrive so I can show here my first impression, because I feel like YouTube like those. I hope I'm reaching those people who likes to watch those, by the way. So anyway, I'm going to now share with you why I have chose this sketchbook specially. It's not for the size or how the cover looks, but it's actually for paper quality. It is very useful to look out for when you're choosing a sketchbook. Something I like about paper is ivory tone of the paper. They have a Delta collection, and in the Delta collection the papers are ivory, and also the Delta collection is 270 GSM. Since I only work in mediums that are dry, mostly thickness should be enough, so that's why I got this paper. I wanted to quickly mention this, so when you get your sketchbook or if you wanted something like similar, you can get this. So one of my favorite way to break into the sketchbook is try and test. What I will do in this paper is try some supplies. So now this one is another new supply that I got. This is 0.3 mm mechanical pencil. This one is 0.5 mm. So I have always used 0.5 and 0.7, but I never really used 0.3. So when I heard that they have 0.3 as well, which is going to be a little bit thin, the tip size, so I was really interested to get one of those. To go with this one, I needed this 0.3 mm lead. If you're getting a nib size which is 0.3 mm, you should get a lead which is 0.3 mm as well. So this numbers should match. So it's really very important to get the same thing, or else it doesn't really go inside this. So I thought I should tell you guys because not everybody know this. It is little bit confusing. I will be here trying this one out, and also I got something which I'm really excited. This is called a clutch pen. The mechanism is very much similar to a mechanical pencil, but it's a little bit different because of its size. So this is a 5.6 mm, so which is a lot thick than the normal ones that I like to use. So that's why I got this one, because I thought this is going to be very fun to use. Using these two to test my way into it. I will not use any other water-based mediums in this sketchbook. I already know that. So I have this very beat up Sakura, and it has a brush tip. So I'm going to be using this one to test this out as well. And this is going to be the controlled ink. So I will use a unpredictable ink as well, which is going to be a dip pen. And I have to find it. So just wait a minute. Okay, so I found this one. This is not a new supply. I had it for years and I never really used it that much. So I'm going to be using this dip pen. It's going to be very fun for me to use and really check how it takes these blobs. Now I will share a little bit more about trying and testing. So what I really do when I'm trying and testing. If you suffer from sketchbook anxiety, I would suggest you to draw something ridiculously simple. What I like to do is draw circles and shade them. Pretend that I am shading a face. And this is very quick, and I can test this supply out. So I will make this like a round shape. A bit of highlight. You can't see it, but when I'm touching it, this paper has a little bit of tooth, which I really like. And look at the tone. So this is like really beautiful toned paper. The ivory color is really nice. Okay, so now I will build it up a little bit more. Let me put 2B in it now. Okay, so okay, now that it has 2B in it, I will just build up a little bit and check that if it takes more layers. Kind of build up here. This is a very fun way to just break into the sketchbook. It's a little bit, it is less pressure to build it this way. This is a very easy way to break into the sketchbook, and there's nothing to really mess because it's a small little thing. So now I will use this to just see if I will make gradient how it takes. And by the time you're done with this page, you will have a lot of practice as well. This is something I want to say that when you see an artist is recommending a paper, not everybody likes the same paper. You may not like the paper that I'm using right now. It's because the preference is different. So I don't really like to work on very smooth paper. Since I use mechanical pencils to build up, I cannot really build up my layers if I use paper which is too smooth. But if it is too textured, I also cannot build up my layers because then my lines doesn't come out that smooth. This is a perfect blend between them, so I can really make smooth lines and also build up layers. So this is really a preference. Finding the right paper is it's a long journey. You really have to try out a lot of paper and also try out the same paper. It really takes a while to like the paper. I guess that's what I wanted to say. So this is a mechanical pencil 0.3 mm. Since I'm using right now just a pencil to test this paper out, I'm going to use this one first here. And similarly, same way, I will draw a circle. To keep the circle same, I'm using the same setting circle size. Now this one has a 4B lead in it. Same way I will build up here. So I'll first make these lines. One out. See here as well, this is similar pencil, but I'm mostly testing out the pencil here. Next way you can easily break into your sketchbook is to draw a very small version of your subject. Just a quick little sketch to figure out how it feels, and also in the process breaking into the sketchbook. So really do whatever subject you are going to be using the sketchbook for. Portrait drawings and like human will be my subject. So it does really make sense for me to use this little sketch of a baby to just break into it. So what I am doing here is a very small version to quick test. It is so small that it really takes less time for me to draw than a bigger size drawing will take. And if you suffer from perfectionism, so if you bought a new sketchbook and you right away you started to draw a bigger version of a drawing, first you haven't done a testing before, so you don't know how the paper really works, so you don't have any idea, can really get messy very easily. And if you are a perfectionistic artist and you suffer from it, then it can really ruin your day. So what I will recommend you to do is draw something small in the first page of the paper, just to check how you feel about the paper. Is the sketchbook paper really works for you? The idea here is to start something, pretend that it's not a big deal. Okay, since the sketch is done, now I will lightly shade it. When I will do a face, how actually it takes it. Same thing I will build up here, not too much like this one, but a little bit. So I'll see if I can create this. I will make the hair with this clutch, so I will use both of them so I can just see. I can build it up more here. So now I'm using clutch to just see how it feels like. I generally don't use this, but do let me know if you ever used this pen before. Oh, sorry, this pencil before. I feel like people use it differently than how I'm using it. So the next simple way to break into a brand new sketchbook is to do timed sessions. So these are some of the timed sessions I have done with this 10 to 15 minute timed sessions. Similarly, I will do something here. So first what we'll do is we'll just draw a circle again, same way. Again, I'm trying to keep the same size. I'm using the same size over here. You can do it freehand, by the way. I will just pretend that I am shading one of these, and here there will be a little bit of shading, right? I will do. So I will just pretend that I'm shading this way and kind of just testing. So I have to order another new Sakura because I have started already my ink practice challenge. So it's going to be hard if there's no ink left. I will not shade anything with ink in this sketchbook. Maybe I will do some lettering, but this one I can do it here, and this way I will just test, this ink. So I made a little sketch. Now I will use this, and my intention is to see if, first of all, how it feels, if it bleeds or not. Which after the sketch I will just flip the page and check. If you see that you are taking your sketchbook a little bit too seriously, then this might be a solution for you. So what I like to do is sometimes I change my medium. right now I am drawing with ink. I don't really draw with ink. This 10 to 15 minute quick sketches, they are really free flowing for me, and I'm not thinking about them too much because they are like doodles, kind of, very quick doodle sketches. So if you're thinking that you are using your sketchbook a little bit too seriously, you can really do that, like change your supply and see if it works or not. This is a very predictable ink because it evenly flows. Now I will use an unpredictable ink, which is this one, a dip pen. What I have here is ink which is part orange, part black. It's a sepia tone which will be really fun for us. I will dip it in here and kind of draw us another circle and kind of try. This is a dip pen. And here I'm trying to draw a small little cup to test the dip pen. I don't have that much practice with dip pen, so I'm a bit rusty. So here you go. Let's flip and check. Doesn't really bleed. If you want to draw a lot with ink and build a lot of layers, then it will bleed. It's the threshold, and I have not done much, so it's the threshold of this paper, but it's okay for me because I'm not going to use ink anyway. I'm just going to stick to my mechanical pencils. If you are thinking of using ink here in this sketchbook, really look out for potential bleed. This is one of the ways I test all the products and kind of draw some sketches here and there and kind of build. So now I will show you how I do this one. So this is very different purpose. This is for ink practice, and I already kind of used it. So this, I have thought of starting this for October as a ink challenge. So I already did a bunch of studies over in here. This is kind of like only ink, and I know that I will practice a lot of ink, so I already started using this one. So how I break into this one is a little bit different how I break into this one. Here I used some old alphabet stamps that I had from few years back, and I basically wrote down the month. It almost acts as a time capsule. So when I'll go back and flip through the sketchbook, you can really see the starting of the date when you started this sketchbook. So the next thing I did is practicing my inking skills. Since I am doing this October challenge, one of my goal here is to practice ink and get familiar with the different kind of inks and just to get familiar with the inking process. I hope you got some sort of idea. So I just play around with the materials I'm going to be using in the sketchbook itself. So I do the try and test method to kind of, break into the sketchbook and play with the sketchbook. Mostly I stick to these things. So these are like really something I do. Taking the testing a little further, so I'm doing this one.